Hello, in this video I will explain the assignment request on Wadi Virtual. For this activity I used NotebookLM as a learning tool to analyze a set of provided sources. Based on that research, I will personally explain the main ideas, examples, authors, trends, and future expectations related to trick-taking card games. The main topic shared by all the sources in the modern research or resonance of trick-taking card games. The source analyzed how a very traditional card game mechanic has evolved through modern design, international influence, and innovative mechanics, transforming it into one of the most active and creative areas of contemporary board game design. Several classic games define the foundation of the trick-taking genre. Traditional classics include Bridge, known for its deep strategy and bidding system, which establishes core rules like following suit. Hearts, a game of evasion where winning tricks can be a disadvantage, and Spades, which introduced fixed trump suites and prediction-based scoring. This classic established the core mechanics that modern games continue to build upon. The sources also highlight several notable modern designers who are driving the current renaissance. One of the most influential figures is Takeshi Shinzawa, whose design experiment with unconventional rules and player perspectives. Another key author is Hiroaki Yamamoto, also known as Hiroken, creator of Eternal Decks, which combines trick-taking with deck management. Additionally, many innovative designers from the Japanese game design scene are reshaping the genre through imported titles. Modern trick-taking games introduce several new phenomena. These include cooperative trick-taking, where players work together instead of competing, hybrid games that mix trick-taking with deck building or puzzle mechanics, unusual scoring systems that reward or punish players in unexpected ways, archaic objectives that vary from round to round. These innovations explain why the genre feels fresh and exciting despite its historical roots. Beyond the original source, the trick-taking community relies on platforms such as Board Game Geek, specialized blogs, podcasts, and online forums like Reddit. These sites help players discover new games, analyze mechanics, and stay informed about upcoming releases and trends within the genre. According to the assignment instructions, this final section is the only part generated directly using NotebookLM video feature. The following video provides an easy explanation of a classic trick-taking game.
What if I told you that one of the absolute hottest trends in modern gaming is actually based on a 500-year-old idea? It's kind of wild, right? Today, we're going to dive into this totally unexpected renaissance of a classic card game mechanic and explore how it's being completely reinvented from the ground up. So let's start with a really simple question. Have you ever sat around a table, maybe with family or friends, desperately trying to avoid getting stuck with the Queen of Spades? Or maybe you tried to shoot the moon in a game of hearts? If you answered yes, then congratulations, you've already experienced the magic of trick-taking. But here's the thing. The simple game you remember is in the middle of a massive revolution. Those fundamental rules you thought were set in stone? Well, designers are now breaking every single one of them. So before we jump into that revolution, let's just make sure we're all on the same page. let's establish our baseline. What are we even talking about when we say trick-taking? The whole genre is really built on these absolute classics. I mean, games like Spades, Hearts, Bridge, these aren't just old games. They're basically cultural touchstones, right? They've been played for generations around kitchen tables all over the world. And they all share the exact same core DNA. So what is that shared DNA? Well, it all comes down to the trick. For anyone who's maybe new to the term, let's just do a quick breakdown of the basic blueprint for how a classic trick-taking game actually works. At its heart, a trick-taking game is incredibly simple. It's a card game where, in each round, every single player plays one card from their hand. We call that little round of cards a trick. One player wins that trick, takes the cards, and then you just do it all over again. That's it. And this really shows the flow perfectly. The first player leads with a card of any suit. Then, everybody else has to follow that suit if they have one. Now, there might be a special trump suit in play that can beat everything else. And at the end, the person who played the highest card wins the trick. Simple, right? And for centuries, these rules were basically sacred. But that is where our story takes a very sharp turn. Because after decades and decades of stability, this old, predictable genre has suddenly just exploded with creativity, leading to what everyone is calling a modern renaissance. Yeah, for the longest time, new trick-taking games were kind of rare. But in just the last few years, it has become one of the most exciting and innovative spaces in the entire tabletop world. Which begs the question, why now? What happened? And hey, this isn't just an industry thing. The players are feeling it too. As one user on the board games subreddit put it, the trick-taking renaissance is upon us and I am here for it. You can just feel that excitement. It's palpable. So what's fueling this fire? Well, it's pretty much a perfect storm. First, you've got this huge wave of innovation coming from brilliant Japanese designers like Taiki Shinzawa, who is a total master of the genre. Then you have these global communities online importing these games and creating tons of buzz. And on top of that, you have small indie publishers who are willing to take creative risks that the bigger companies just won't touch. It's all meeting this huge player demand for deep, strategic puzzles you can fit in a small box. Okay, so how do you even innovate on a 500-year-old game? It turns out the answer is to take those core rules we just talked about and just completely shatter them. This comparison just lays out the whole revolution perfectly. The classic rule, you must follow suit. The modern twist, how about a card that lets you change the suit everyone has to follow? Classic rule, highest card wins. Modern twist, what if you want to win the lowest card, or maybe you have to win exactly 0 tricks? And where it used to be only competitive, now you've got these amazing cooperative games where you all win or lose as a team. The trump suit can even change from one trick to the next. It's just mind-blowing. A perfect example of this is a game called The Crew, The Quest for Planet 9. It completely flipped the script and turned trick-taking into this cooperative puzzle where players have to work together to complete missions. This was so groundbreaking, it was nominated for the Spiel des Jahres, which is the most prestigious award in board gaming. Seriously, think of it like the Oscars. That nomination put the entire genre on the international map. And, of course, that kind of attention had a huge snowball effect. These incredible innovations have taken trick-taking from this sort of niche corner of the hobby right into the mainstream spotlight. I mean, you can see the acceleration right here on this timeline. In 2020, The Crew gets that huge, prestigious nomination. Just a few years later, by 2023, you have complex games like Eternal Decks finding massive success on crowdfunding sites. And fast forward to 2025, and suddenly, trick-taking games are absolutely dominating the most anticipated lists for Gen Con, which is the largest board game convention in North America. That just shows you how mainstream this has all become. And this chart really just drives the point home. Look at the buzz for trick takers at Gen Con 2025. They're generating way more anticipation than a lot of other card games, even beating out some of those big, expensive strategy games. This isn't just a fad, it's a full-blown movement. So where does it all go from here? I mean, with so many rules already broken, what could possibly be the next trick up these designers' sleeves? Honestly, this says it all. The old playbook has been completely thrown out the window. The only rule that's left is creativity. The field is just wide open for even more mind-bending ideas. And we're already seeing the trends emerge. We can definitely expect more hybrid games that blend trick-taking with other mechanics. That indie publisher scene is only going to continue to grow, bringing us more unique and daring designs. And we're going to see wider, faster releases of all those amazing international games. The pace of innovation, it is absolutely not slowing down. So we end on this thought. For a game that's been around for half a millennium, it really feels like it's just getting started. The foundation is ancient, but the creativity is brand new. What rule is going to get broken next? What clever twist will the next designer come up with? And that's the most exciting part. We'll just have to play to find out.
This completes the assignment and demonstrates how NotebookLM can be used as a learning tool to support research, while the analysis and explanations are developed independently.